South Korea's president says only his country can decide the fate of the Korean Peninsula and whether there will be any military action there.
War must never break out again on the Korean Peninsula. Only the Republic of Korea can make the decision for military action on the Korean Peninsula. Without the consent of the Republic of Korea, no country can decide to take military action.
The statement did come as thousands protested in Seoul against the United States deployment of the THAAD missile system in their country. The calls for de-escalation contrast sharply with the American president's words, though. Just a few days ago, he tweeted that military solutions are now fully in place, locked and loaded. And Donald Trump's not the only one in Washington sounding hawkish.
With fire and fury.
The threat from North Korea, not only to the United States, but to the world, is very, very clear.
This is an existential threat to the United States.
We were a superpower. We are now a hyperpower. So the message is very clear. Don't test this White House, Pyongyang.
And we can get the thoughts now of Alison Evans. She's an Asia-Pacific analyst and expert on North Korea and joins us from London. Good afternoon to you, Alison. Firstly, what's your view on what South Korea has said? Does it really have so much influence on whether there will be military action on the peninsula or not?
Yes, I think the US-South Korea alliance is pretty clear and they work very closely together. The US and South Korea will be starting routine joint military exercises on the 21st, and in the past, looking at times of heightened tension on the Korean Peninsula, often the US and South Korea have both played the role of a break against one another before moving towards conflict.
So you believe even if perhaps America does want conflict, it will be South Korea that has the final say?
Well, I think the US has to balance its need to reassure its allies, including Japan also, that it is committed to upholding the security alliance while also threatening Pyongyang to make it very clear that if North Korea were to attack the United States, for example, by targeting Guam, that would be considered an act of war.
Just over the last sort of day or so, North Korea has hinted that, you know, it's looking perhaps for calm. It's toned down its rhetoric. We can just hear what the North Korean leader actually said. Let's just listen to this, Alison.
The United States, which was the first to bring numerous strategic nuclear equipment near to us, should first make the right decision and show, through actions, if they wish to ease tensions on the Korean Peninsula and prevent a dangerous military clash.
We're hearing, aren't we, perhaps North and South Korea maybe being on the same page here. They're sort of backing off from direct military conflict. Is that a surprise that you've seen this, that we see North and South perhaps on the same page? Because it's quite rare that we do.
In short, Andrew, no. I think this is consistent with previous positions. Today, Kim Jong-un said that he would wait and see what the United States does. I think that's in keeping with the messages last week, giving a detailed plan, which is unusual, but also saying that it was a contingency plan. And, for example, in June this year, North Korea again offered to stop missile tests if the United States were to suspend the joint military exercises with South Korea. South Korea, on its part, has also consistently said that it does not want a conflict with North Korea, and I think particularly new President Moon Jae-in's position to de-escalate in times of tension like this is positive.
Do you think also this has perhaps been a reaction to the sanctions that have been put in place and perhaps the role that China's playing now, trying to pressure the North into calming down?
I think the sanctions last week show that, again, China is cooperating with the international community. And yesterday, its Ministry of Commerce announced that the customs would start preventing further imports of coal and iron and other goods that are prevented in these sanctions. However, I do think that there are issues around capacity at the border, and also it remains to be seen whether China will use the exemption for livelihood or humanitarian reasons to continue some imports from North Korea.
All right, Alison, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for coming on to RT this afternoon. That was Alison Evans, Asia Pacific analyst. Thank you.